And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Today we're taking a look at a game called All In, The Truth Can Cost Ya. This is a game in which it's from Patch Products. It's a game in which you're going to be saying a statement, I have done something or I have not done something, and then everyone is going to decide whether that statement is true or not by going all in. Here's how it plays. Each player is going to get 15 chips of their color. So you have blue, orange, yellow, green, red chips that are going to be in the game. Each player also gets an exclusion card. Ooh, you're excluded. And then there's a big deck of cards that have 3 questions on them. Now these questions, there's always usually one what the game calls naughty questions. So here I've been present for a hurricane, I've knocked over a portable toilet, I've had to sift through vomit to fish something out, I can surf, I have a credit card declined in public, I farted in a pool and created telltale bubbles, I volunteered for mission work in another country. I've trashed someone's lawn as a prank. I put a condiment packet under someone's tire. I've hit on a stranger who turned out to be my new boss. It's very, very specific. I can blow a bubble inside a bubble, so on and so forth. So let's say I have taken fast food or cafeteria trays and used them for sledding. So I say that's the one. And then I'm going to pick true or false secretly. And then everyone else has to put all their chips on the board. So maybe orange says, I'm going to split half my chips between each one. Yellow says I'm going to put most of them on true, but it might be false. Green says I'm all in false. Red says I'm all in true. Okay? Now, I can, if I want to, play my exclusion card and pick someone and say, you're not out this round. You can't put out chips. Anyway, so then the answer here is false. I've never done that. So all these chips are gone. Red is out of the game. Green gets to keep their chips. Orange keeps half their chips. Yellow keeps this many chips. And then we go to the next player. And we keep doing that until only one person has chips left. By the way, if you're excluded from the game, you can still read the questions at least. But we keep doing going until one person has chips left, and that person is the winner. Garbage. Really it is. I mean, the questions themselves, as I go to retrieve them, are really just, some of them, like I mentioned, are very specific. And some of them, like, for example, I've gone to a new movie wearing a costume or movie-themed clothing. Okay, you may or may not know that about me, but I've called in and won something on a radio show. If that's happened, the chance of people knowing it is very positive. And many of these, some of these, like I've ridden a lawnmower naked, just, it's this whole, I almost feel like a lot of the questions in this game where a bunch of people got together and like, okay, how about we write this? And I mean, some of these I'm like, has anyone ever done that? And some of these are just really, it's almost like they're like, let's do scruples and mix it with this. But what this does is, first of all, you get 3 questions. And you're sitting, well, one might be embarrassing. That's funny. Okay. One might be very specific and everyone knows, and one, no one cares. Like, let's find one. I have a twin. First of all, come on. The people at the table would not know that at this point. I've used a credit card without permission. As a kid, maybe. I once peeled a piece of fruit in one long curly piece. Who cares? And so, okay, so let's take the question part of the game. I think it's idiotic. I think that these questions were not very well thought through, or they were thought through. I don't like the questions at all. They're not open-ended. They're not interesting. They're either embarrassing or they're weird. But the game itself, all right, you put all your chips on one side or the other. If you don't know, you're guessing. So if you guess, do you put half on each side and you just keep going until you're out? Or do you go all in and then be immediately kicked out of the game? This game can literally be like 2 minutes long, or it can be longer. The concept of putting all your chips in every turn is interesting, but in practice it just comes out as silly. It's like, oh, I lost again. Oh, I lost again. Not to mention, you don't even know if the person is telling you the truth about the answer or not. So, I don't know. I found the whole thing, the components are not that good. I do like the big true and false board, but the components are not good, really. The whole thing is just a big mess. Not recommended at all. Dice Tower Judgment, garbage!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!